So I've been on a few days of NOFAP. I don't really know the exact number of days, but who even cares? I've spent the last 6 years of my life now, since 2017, addicted to this thing, watching it almost every single day. And of course, there are sometimes I'm able to go without it for 30 days, 45 days, 60 days, 1 week, 2 weeks, whatever, but I never really found a permanent solution to this thing. But I think I finally found a plan that might help me stop this shit. So for you to understand this plan, there are 2 concepts I need you to understand. I can't remember the exact research or study or video or whatever, but I'm very sure I've heard this concept floating around from other NOFAP videos similar to this one. Sometime there was a study done on rats, and they took this rat and put it in a cage by itself with a very toxic substance, like an addictive substance, something like cocaine or whatever. And since this rat was there by itself, guess what this rat did? This rat went to that cocaine or that substance and overdosed on it till it died. They took another rat and put it inside another cage, but this time the cage they put it in, they named it Rat Park. And in this cage there were many other rats just like it. There were fun toys and games and different things the thing could do. And also, they put that same toxic substance inside there. But guess what this time? The rats did not go near the substance. It did not go near the substance. And the conclusion they were able to come from this experiment is that if the rat is just alone with the substance, of course it's going to go to the substance and overdose with it till it dies. But if it has many other things that actually like keep it busy and keep it happy and all that, it doesn't really have any business with the substance. Second concept I want you to understand is that of progressive overload. So if you have done any workouts or done any gym related stuff, you know what progressive overload means. So if, for example, your maximum reps is 10 push-ups, the next time you're working out, you just try to increase it to 11 push-ups. So you're progressively overloading, you're going above your normal limits. Then, you know, the next time again, you push it to 12 and 15, then you just keep increasing it like that. But in this case, instead of progressively overloading, we're progressively deloading. So if your normal reps is 10, you will reduce it to 9, then 8, then 7, like that, and eventually reach 0. So now that I assume you understand these 2 concepts, let me explain what my plan is. So from the rat experiment, what this means for us human beings is if your life is like dark and alone and, you know, just dull and the type of life you hate, of course you're going to be addicted to porn, of course you're going to be addicted to weed, of course you're going to be addicted to social media and all these vices, because your real life is very dull and dark and just a place you don't want to spend time in, especially by yourself. But on the other hand, if your life is something you really love, you have a lot of friends, you have people that actually care about you, you know, the work you go to or the school you go to, you know, you actually find passion and joy from it. The business you're building, you actually enjoy it. You actually have different activities that you actually enjoy and look forward to, activities that actually bring you joy and pleasure, that actually move you forward. Of course, you're not going to really have business with porn and all these other things that we're usually addicted to nowadays. So one of the reasons why you're addicted to porn is your life is probably shit. That's why. So the first step of my plan is to start changing my life, because I'm very sure many of us, you feel just the way I am. You know, you don't really have any meaningful thing you're doing. You know, you have a few businesses here and there, you have this YouTube thing you're trying, but it's not really working out. You don't really have any friends. You know, you're going to school, you don't even care about it. Everything is just falling apart. You're broke, you know, you're lonely, you're depressed. Like, life is just really dull. But if we can create and cultivate and grow our own rat park, that's your own park, whatever your fun life will look like for you, just like the rats, you won't really have any business with those substances again. So my plan now is to start actually creating the life I want, and I've already started doing that little by little with making these videos and doing a little bit of workouts, you know, and trying all these things I'm doing in my life now. The second part of the plan is the progressive deload or underload, whichever word it is, but this is basically just to be reducing it. So right now, the problem with the traditional NOFAP ways, you know, you just wake up one morning, you know, I'm tired of fapping and wasting my life and being an idiot. Okay, fine, let's just go 30 days without fapping, which actually sounds good on the surface, but the problem with it is that you have been addicted to this thing for 6 years, 8 years, 10 years, 12 years, like checking off almost every single day, and you just think you just wake up magically one day and 30 days later, like all your addiction problems are cured. It's probably not going to work. So what we want to do is assess how much we are currently doing this thing. You know, if you are jerking off every single day, if you are jerking off 5 times a week, if you are jerking off 3 times a week, if you haven't jerking off once a week, if you are jerking off 20 hours a week, you have to study yourself and assess how much you are doing this thing per week, per month, per day. Then the idea is just to deload it, just to reduce it just slightly, and just keep doing it like that each month, till eventually, you know, you're not really doing it again. So let's assume you jerk off every single day. an idea that came to my mind is, okay, so I'll just 30 days on trying to, you know, do it like that. The problem now is you end up relapsing, and you just start eating yourself. So we'll say, okay, I jerk off every single day. How about we just go Sunday, just Sunday alone? You can jerk off every other day, but just for the whole of this month, we are not going to jerk off on Sunday. That sounds weird, say it out loud, but that's actually a plan. Then the next month, you add Saturday. So now 2 months in now, it's just Saturday and Sunday. You can jerk off any other day you want, but Saturday and Sunday, you're going to stop yourself. And Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and just keep doing it like that till eventually it's like you don't even really jerk off anymore. And combining that with the fact that you're actually building a life you want, you're actually working on things that actually matter to you. Your life is something you actually want to live in, not something you want to escape from. It's very, very likely that you're going to quit porn. Like, you're just going to stop jerking off. But there are 2 things I want you to remember. The first thing is that it's going to take time. Like, this is not going to happen overnight. Another problem with, you know, the traditional NOFAP way is that we just want 30 days later all our problems are solved. Like, you have been jerking off for 6 years, bro. Like, how do you want your problems to go away in 30 days? So you have to keep it in mind that this is going to take time. And I can even estimate that 1 year from now, you'll still be watching porn, but it will just be significantly less than it is today. Imagine maybe right now you watch porn every single day. Maybe 1 year from now, it will just be like once a week. Like, even though that's not like, oh, 30 days, whatever, isn't that significantly better than actually what you're doing right now? And maybe 2 years from today, you probably will not even have business with the habits again. And some people will be like, oh, it's going to take too long. You know, how can I just be 2 years, whatever? Like, first of all, everybody is different, so it might not be 2 years for you. But even if it's going to be 2 years, is it not significantly better that 2 years from today, it is guaranteed that you are no longer going to be watching pornography, or 2 years from today, you'll just be on another 30-day streak or another 90-day streak because you're going to relapse again after just a few days of doing that. And speaking of relapse, the second thing I want you to keep in mind is you have to be patient and forgive yourself. Even if you say, maybe I'm not going to jerk off on Sunday, and you end up jerking off on Sunday, you have to forgive yourself and keep going. Because sometimes it's not even like the NoFap habit itself that is destroying us. It's a negative self-talk that is happening up here in our brains. You're just destroying your own self-esteem and devaluing yourself and all those things. So you have to kind of be patient with yourself. Like, immediately you slip up, immediately you relapse, accept it to yourself, you know, tell yourself the truth. I have relapsed, I have fucked up, but you know, it is done. There is nothing I can do. The only thing we can do right now is to move forward and keep going. So do that immediately. Move forward and keep going. Don't sit down and be beating yourself up and be like, why am I so stupid? Why can't I just stick to this thing? Look at me, look at the way my life is like this. Like, just don't do that. It's just going to make the situation worse. So that was my plan to end my porn addiction. Of course, it doesn't sound as sexy as the traditional 30 days, 90 days, 300 days or whatever, but hopefully 1 year from today, 2 years from today, I'll have no business with these habits again.